Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Helen and my channel name is Helen Anyango. So if you're watching me for the first time, please do subscribe down below. Thank you so much for those who have been subscribing and those who have been liking my video and commenting down below. I'm so grateful to you all. And here I talk about my life journey in Iraq as a house manager. So today I'm going to tell you about the things you should avoid, or the things that you should stay away from if you want to like complete your job safely, or if you want to stay away from maybe being beaten up, ending up in jail, or even deported back to your country. So when you come to Gulf countries, these are the things, especially when you come as a house manager, these are the things that you should avoid completely. Try to stay away from these things and they will help you. You'll be able to stay until you're 2 years and go back home safely. So stay tuned and watch me until the end of the video, and I'm very sure you'll learn a lot about what I'm going to say today. Okay guys, so if you're in Gulf countries already, the thing that is very, very bad for people who do them. Okay, I cannot judge them and say that they do the wrong thing, but sometimes it is not so good if you do it, or it is not the better option. It's running away from the house of the people that they have employed you, like running away from the house and maybe going outside on the streets. Okay, so maybe you have friends, they have called you and told you, come out of the house, come later we can find a better job for you, a better paying job, a better salary. And you know, when you come here, first of all, when you come here, you always come with the name of your sponsor, the name of your boss. So if this person reports that you went missing, or maybe when you want to go back to your country, okay, there are things that you have to clear, like for you to get the visa to go back to your country. There are things that they have to clear with your first boss, or the boss that brought you. Okay, so for example, maybe you ran away from the house that you're working in. So maybe you have been out in the street. Maybe you are very lucky to be staying out in the street and working and getting jobs here and there without being caught by the police, or maybe without ending up in any problem. And mind you, if you get sick, you know, that's where the problem comes in. Because if you get sick, even being treated in these hospitals here in Arabic countries or Gulf countries is very, very difficult. Very, very difficult unless you have your sponsor, the one who brought you, who has taken you to the hospital. You know, you cannot just walk into any hospitals and think that you'll get treated. It does not happen. It is very, very hard. Very, very hard. So I don't blame those who run away from their houses, or I don't say also it's a good thing, because we have some circumstances that force girls to run out of their houses. You know, maybe you are being beaten up, maybe you are being locked in the house, maybe you don't have a phone, maybe they are mistreating you, a lot of things. Maybe you have tried to reach the agents and they're not there for you, like they're not trying to help. So just find out that maybe let me run away, go to the streets maybe, and see if I can find help. Remember, first of all, when you're actually running away, you have left your passport behind. So most of the times you will be going out without your passport. And here in these countries, it's very, very hard to be walking around without your passport or any identification card which shows that you are legally here. So in case you are caught by the policemen, you know, you will just be taken to jail. If you're caught by the policemen, you don't have a passport, you don't know even the name of the person who brought you, you know, and maybe you just ran, you did not even go to the office that brought you. You don't know where the office is. So it's a very big problem. It's not like back in our countries, Africa, where you can just move from one boss and say, I want to get out of this house and go. Nobody will follow you, you know, unless you have maybe done something wrong. But here, you cannot walk around without your passport or your ID. So when you think of running away, or when you think of maybe going to the streets, you have to think very, very well. Sit down and see, is it worthy? Because maybe running away to go to out the streets, maybe you think that the streets they're paying good, you will find your freedom, you will find jobs here and there. But mind you, when you get, for example, when you fall sick, when you get sick, treatment will be very hard for you. And even when you're caught by the police, your case will be very hard, because first of all, you look like you are how do they call them? You look like you are a refugee in their country. You don't have a passport. You don't have any identification. So they will just put you in jail for some time and then just deport you with nothing. So that's the best they can do. They'll just deport you back to your country. So these are the things that you should avoid. Instead of running away from your employer or the person that have employed you, you should first seek. You should try very hard to seek help from the office. Seek help from the office as much as you can. There's offices that they will not respond immediately, but just try to seek help from the offices, or even if it's not here, from the offices back at home. Let them call your bosses. Let them talk before thinking of running away. It's not a very good decision, which some girls do, because in case of anything, that's where the problem lies. We have a lot of girls that cannot be patient to stay in the houses maybe for 2 full years. So they want their freedom, they want to go away. But when you come to think of it, in case of anything, if anything happens to you, what will happen to you? We don't think about that. Don't be fooled, or don't be tricked by others who are outside telling you, come. Life is hard outside there, because when you go outside there, you'll find that maybe you have to pay for your rent, that where you're staying. You have to buy yourself food. You have to buy yourself clothing. You have to do this and that. It will be a little bit hard, and you have to be sneaking away each and every time, because when you're walking like this, if you see a policeman, you want to run to the other side, because you're always afraid. What if he catches you? What if he asks you, where are you going? Where are you from? Where's your passport? What will you answer? So it is a life which is not very good. It's better you just stay in the house with the employer, try to sort things out, and don't be that greedy of wanting more money outside when it is very, very risky. It is very, very risky. It is very, very risky. It is better you stay in your employer's house if they are good. Just work and plan your money well, because going outside there and starting your own life, like maybe everything you'll be using money to pay your rent and doing everything. But when you are staying with them, you don't pay rent, you don't buy food, you don't buy clothes. So you see, it's still better. That's one of the things that you should avoid completely, or else you'll find yourself in jail, or you find yourself being deported. So number two is when you're working in the Arab countries, the Arab children. You should avoid, like the Arab children's, you should avoid, you shall avoid shouting at them. You should avoid beating them. You should avoid pinching them. You should avoid anything to do with the Arab children. The way they are brought up is not the way we bring up our children back in Africa. Because in our children back at home, they are very, very respectful. I don't mean that the Arab children are not respectful. What I mean is that the way they are brought here is not the way we bring our children back at home. Because we'll find that most of the children back at our countries, the tender ages, the little children, they really have that fear of, when they see a big person, when they see a grown-up person, they kind of have a little respect. They'll respect them, they'll fear them. They cannot speak anyhow to them. But when you come here in Arabic countries, it's very, very different. You'll find out that maybe a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 6-year-old, even less than 10 years old child will be ordering you up and down. Will be commanding you. Some even spit at you, like they spit at you. Some will even be slapping you here and there. They'll be doing every kind of thing, every sort of things, shouting at you. They don't mind that you are big, as long as they see that you are just a housemaid. That is how they are. And you cannot do anything about that. You cannot beat them, because if you beat any child in these Arab countries, they really take it so, I don't know how I can put it. They really take it so personal. They really take it so bad. They really take it in a bad way. How comes you are beating their child? How comes you are disciplining their child? As who? They don't even want to know. Maybe you are a parent, you have your own children. So you cannot tell them, but I'm trying to discipline this child because he or she has done this and that, they will not take it. It's not like back in our country when you see anyone's child maybe trying to do a bad thing, we'll even scold the child and tell him, stop doing that, don't do that again, or even pinch him a little bit. But here is a no. So when you come here, avoid that completely. Avoid that completely. And it's very, very hard, because there's no way you'll see a child, a 5-year-old child maybe, spitting at you, and you just keep quiet. But you can talk to them, or you can try to address their parents, or talk to them, or tell the child directly that you don't like whatever he's doing, you should stop it. But avoid beating them physically, slapping them, pinching them. Avoid it completely. Their children are not brought up the way our children are brought up in Africa. So that is something that you also avoid. And then number three is I say dating. When you come here, these people, I say these Arabs, they have very strict rules when it comes to maybe mingling, friendship, relationship, because they have their very strict rules here and laws when it comes to relationships. You'll see most of them that they follow their rules. I mean, they follow their laws, most of them. And when you'll see that they keep themselves maybe until marriage or until engagement. That's when you can even see people, maybe a girl and a boy moving around, maybe they moving around town, maybe girlfriend and boyfriend holding each other's hands. That's after they have engaged or maybe married. It is very, very hard to find them just moving up and down, a boyfriend and a girlfriend. It's very, very hard. So they keep their relationship laws very strict. So when you come here, we as African girls, when you come here to work in these houses, maybe as house managers, housemaids, or how it is just called like that. So when you come to work here, you should completely stay away from these Arab married men, or maybe the boys that you will find in their families working in the family that you'll be working in. Stay away from these Arab married men, because their laws are very, very strict. They will try, maybe there's some that just go against the law, like their nature. So there's some that will try to trick you here and there. They'll tell you, come, I'll add money to your salary. Your madam will not know. We'll just be doing it here and there, maybe hiding it. Try to bring you presents here and there. My dear, remember that anyone's husband is not good to date, or anyone's wife here in Arabic country is not good to date, because in case you are caught, in case they catch you and the man, or you and the woman, just know that yours is finished. Yours is finished, unless you find that someone who will just forgive you. I don't know even if forgiving comes in there. Someone will just let you go, or maybe you just escape from their hands and just run away, because when their laws are very, very strict, and when they catch you, the two of you, now they'll put everything upon you. You're in their country, so they'll put everything upon you. You're the one who will be punished. You're the one who will suffer. And that's why they will beat you up. They even put you in jail. And we have heard of stories that even they will even kill you. They even chop maybe your manhood, chop your breast. It's not good. It's not a good thing at all. Don't date any married Arab person, even if they're not married. As long as you're working in the house, don't be enticed. Don't be lured. Don't be lured by anything. They tell you that I will add you salary, I'll do this for you, I'll do this favor for you. Please don't. Avoid completely. Stay on your lane and say, I don't want. I came here for work, and not to be sleeping around with you, and not to be doing a relationship with you. Because once you have done that, you've already there's no respect at all in that house. And in case you are caught, it's another case, another big thing. Not like back in our countries where you just say, okay, we'll just do this and that and we'll finish. Here is different. Very different. So you should stay away from that completely. Like when you come here, just come because of work. Don't come because of any relationship with anybody or whatsoever. Just come because of work, especially if you are a housemaid. You'll be staying in the house for most of the time of your time you will be here. Just be staying in the house. So the men that we'll be seeing is just maybe the man of the house, and maybe the boys that are around in the house. So stick to your lane. When it comes to just do anything for them, cleaning, doing anything. But when it comes to maybe now relationships, stick to your lane. Don't accept in any way or whichever way. Okay. And then the other point is that when you have a misunderstanding with your madam or misunderstanding with your boss. Okay, I talked about not beating the children. So here also, you should avoid completely physically fighting. Avoid physically fighting with your boss or physical fighting with your madam. You know that sometimes you can be you can feel that you are very angry and you want to raise your hand on maybe your madam or your boss. You know, it can cost you like a lot. It can really cost you. Remember, this is their countries, and their laws always favor them. So if you do such kind of thing, they will come. Maybe they'll just I don't know. They just take you inside jail, because if you fight with them, you are in their house. So if you see that the quarreling is going, you cannot stand it. Just go to your room, lock yourself, stay there, calm down as much as you can. Just calm down, but never raise your hand on the woman of the house or on the husband of the house, or throw anything at them. You know, you'll just have, that will be the worst mistake you will have ever done in these countries, and it will cost you a lot. You can lose everything that you've ever worked for since you came in this country, because they'll not let you go free. You know, if you had money, they'll take it from you. They'll make sure that they put you in jail. They'll even add other things that you did not do and say that you did them, so that you can stay in jail. You know, they deport you. So as much as you get angry, or as much as you see that they're really pissing you off sometimes, because sometimes it's very hard to understand them, you just find that you're poor. And for the last tip, I will tell you what most of the Arab people, what they like. So if you want to stay with them, like if you want to finish your contract very well, most of them, they like someone who is polite. As much as you know you have been having your behavior back at your home. So when you come here, they like to be listened. Like they like to be listened. They like whatever they tell you, you do it. Most of them. They don't like arguing. Like they don't like you showing them that you know, or maybe you cannot do it, or maybe you know much more than them. You know, they don't like those kind of behaviors. They just like when you tell them, they tell you to do something, just go and do it. They don't like a lot of arguments, like you're trying to argue with them here and there. You know, like you're trying to prove them wrong every time. They really don't like that kind of behavior. So they always like someone who is polite. So it's upon you to know how you'll be playing your game. Like it's upon you to know how you'll be to be handling them, because they always like to be listened. You know, they always like to say, and you listen and you do what they say. Unless you find that it is difficult for you to do, you can come out and say, no, this one is hard for me, but not every time. Don't be a person that always argues, you know. So that is how you can stay with them also, for you to be able to finish your contract well and be able to stay until the end of your contract with them, and maybe go back home safely. So thank you guys for staying tuned until the end of the video. I hope you have learned a lot, and I hope this has helped you. A lot, or maybe you picked 1 or 2 points. So let me know down below in your comments. Let me know what you think, or what your thoughts are about the video I've shared today. Subscribe once again if you have not subscribed until the end of the video, and see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching, guys.